Hey everybody, welcome back inside the Stash Report from the Stash Project. This will be our February compilation video for any of the new folks who may be joining on, or maybe this is the first time you've tuned into this channel. It just came up in one of those suggested video things on the side of what you were watching last. Welcome! We do these videos once a month at the beginning of the month to let you know what automotive plastic kit releases you should be expecting to spend your money on. So we have a couple of things domestically. There's only round two kits as of right now. If they decide that they are going to push a few more things forward, I should say, we will let you know. And then everything else is, of course, just overseas releases at this point. We did get a little bit of fun stuff out of Nuremberg Toy Fair. Once again, it managed to make itself worth paying attention to. We'll cover that in the regular Stash Report for this week. And then, yeah. We have a couple other things. I have a Stash Report from last week that is in the can. I just need to upload it. And then we're going to record a Stash Report video for this week. And I also have sort of my latest things that have flowed into the stash, one of those inside the box type videos that I still have to put together. So there'll be many videos coming out this week, hopefully. Just one of those deals where I did a bunch of stuff at home, and then the kids were off school because of the cold, and it just really never had time to get anything done. Home busier than work sometimes. Yeah, you know how that is. So, over at round two, the two February kit releases we expect to see are the reissue, of course, always reissues, of the 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle SS396. Probably not very coincidental that their Chevelle is coming back out right after the release of the newly tooled 68 Chevelle from Revell. This kit will be a reissue pretty much of the 69 Chevelle as it has always come. It's a 3-in-1 kit. It's the same thing it's always been since, well, 1969. The new addition here will be some pad-printed Firestone Drag 500. I believe they're slicks, not drag radials. I'm not a drag person, so if I'm wrong, you know what I'm talking about. Those, it appears to be, from every part of the research I've done, this is the first kit that these new tires will be in. Be interested to see if they come in other things or if they'll be in a tire set at some point later, but this should be the first kit that these new tires are in. New decals, it's got the 1969 annual box art and all that sort of thing, but, contents within molded in white, it's the same thing it's always been. The other reissue will be the 1959 Chrysler Imperial. Of course, this is the kit that probably most people are most related to the Model King program that was done with the previous owners of AMT Ertl back during the Racing Champions days. This was the resurrection of the Imperial, so to speak. That box art, probably the other kits that are known from that period will also be like the Firestone F350 or the F. Technically, it's a camper special, but it's like a combination of parts. That Ford pickup truck, a lot of people recognize that. It was a very whimsical box art that was done during those Model King releases where it had real people and perhaps not the best photoshopping of things, but be that as it may, the Imperial is probably one of the more recognized kits from that series because it was, sort of retooled and remassaged a little bit to get all the parts back into it. So this will be a release of that kit, how it came out the last time. I know some people were, interested in it because the Model King release was, more expensive than anything else really at the time, so a lot of people didn't buy it, and then of course now when they try to go find one they can't, yada yada blah blah blah. So it's got like a fake retro box art because the kit I don't think had this style box art that it's going to come with, and it is what it is. It's a very simple kit, and if you're interested, it will be coming back out in wide release, as they say, this month. Going overseas, there's one kit we expect to see out of Macau, out of Hobby Nunu. That will be the reissue, the third version of the BMW M6 GT3 car. This one for the Team Italia Blank Pane GT Sprint series. Other than the livery options, which will be a new set of livery from the factory, as it were, the box art car. And then there's also going to be included in that their rendition of, and it's because Frankie, who did the decals, is doing the drawings for the decals for the actual box art, that they're also going to be including, their print of his 12 Hours of Bathurst Schnitzer car and the Hockenheim ADAC GT Masters Schnitzer car. You may recall we've offered, because I want to say that's one of the first decal sets that I really helped out with, in terms of trying to figure out what the project should be as far as the liveries included. We did that decal sheet probably, 6 months ago, 8 months ago now, and so I guess they liked it, and they decided to include it. They invited him to draw the decals for the actual kit itself. So he's getting some good experience, as it were, in kit decal design. It's not the first time he's done that, of course, but first time probably in a wide release kit for all of us folks who do the GT3 stuff. And there will also be its own specific photo etch set. I don't expect there's anything different about the photo etch set at all compared to the other two. But of course, if you want the so-called factory, if you will, the Platts Nunu carbon fiber decals for the chassis and things like that, of course, you need the detail upset. And as well as mind you, with the M6, you do not have the window netting or the driver netting that goes down the sides of the actual cockpit. It's not really a window net like NASCAR style. The front canards, the tow hooks, and a couple other things are not included in plastic parts in the kit. You do need the photo etch in order to get those pieces, so keep that in mind. Over at Hasegawa, it is a slew of reissues and one modified retool for February. The reissues are the Nissan 240Z patrol car, so this is pretty much just the Nissan 240Z kit, as it always is, done with a roof light added and some police decals. It's been a little while since that version's been reissued. The next one up will be the Nissan Sunny GB120. That's the original version of the 3 pickup truck kits, the Nissan Sunny pickups. The Jax liveried Honda Civic from 1992. That is the 3-door hatchback version. JTCC car getting reissued. Reissued the 1/24th scale Jordan 192 for the 1992 F1 Series testing shakedown livery. I believe that the Jordan 192 has already been reissued as far as the kit goes. This is just a different livery. I believe it's a livery that has been done in the past in terms of the kits when they were done the first time around. Also, the 1/24 scale Italia Reynard 89D Formula 3000 car from the 1989 season. I did not really do some digging to see if that livery package has come back, has been out before, and the Reynard 89D Formula 3000 car has been out before. They're getting a reissue of the Subaru Legacy in its 1991 RAC Rally, the 1991 Royal Auto Club Rally of England, or the UK, as it may be. That is, I believe that's the winning car for that. Reissue of the 1/24 scale Honda RA272E from the 1965 I was going to say U.S. Grand Prix, but I think it would be the USA Grand Prix. But it's a Formula One race from 1965. And then the modified reissue will be the Honda N360 racing version. So this is the Honda N360, the little itty bitty K car. They've done, 2 or 3 versions of already. I think it's 3. This will have parts to convert it into a racing version. So it'll have a new set of wheels, some new interior pieces, some over fenders for the exterior, very stripped down exterior. Like I'm sure the parts will still be there, but within the kit itself, how you build it, you take out the headlights and the taillights and stuff like that. So that'll be interesting to see what exactly that kit is when it comes, in terms of if it's just sort of a fantasy thing of like, hey, they raced these cars and here's our take on it, or if it's going to be a livery to a specific vehicle from the past. Over at Fujimi, just a few reissues this month. They are the Fujiwara Takayami Subaru WRX, the Kiyoshi Suda Evo 3. Both of those cars are in their initial D line of kits. And then a reissue of their McLaren F1 GTR Longtail from the 1997 Fiat GT, will technically be the Fiat GT1 series, in the Davidoff Golf livery. That is being reissued, much like the last one was, where it is going to have the deluxe treatment, where it's going to have some extra photo etch thrown in. Other than that, it's just a straight reissue of the existing Longtail kits that they did, probably going on probably 4 or 5 years now since those F1 GTRs have come out of Fujimi and Aoshima. Speaking of Aoshima, over there they're going to be reissuing in the model car lineup the Toyota Harrier 350G. This is the sport utility vehicle. We got it here as a Lexus. There is no Lexus parts in this kit. It is a JDM Toyota Harrier. I believe it is USCP. The guys over there, the Ukraine, or it might be Dialex, I can't remember who. I mean, the people at Dialex were doing USCP's design work, and then they split off and went into separate companies. So I'm not sure who sells the parts at this point, but one of those 2 Ukrainian resin guys sells a left-hand drive conversion for this. Now, it doesn't include like left-hand drive wipers. It doesn't include Lexus logos and lettering. although the Lexus logos and letterings seem to float around on eBay from a Chinese seller. I'm not sure how good the decals are per se, but I mean, they do float around. So you could kind of, sort of, almost turn it into the Lexus SUV, but you know, it's a snap-tight kit. It's a very, you know, basic kit designed for sort of younger builders when it came out back in the 2000s, and so that's getting another run around the block. Also being reissued in the SUV lineup, as it were, is the Nissan Terrano from 1991. That would be what we got here in the United States as the Nissan Pathfinder. I would expect this to be much like the Hilux Surf reissue. I'm not sure we've talked about that, technically speaking, because the video that's in hasn't come out yet. But the Hilux Surf has got a bunch of parts put into it from all of the releases, and I expect this to be the same way in terms of like off-road lighting and front and back skid plates and grill guards and brush guards and ladders for the roof racks and things like that, because that's what the Hilux has, and the Pathfinder was, or the Terrano, excuse me, was similar to that. There are left-hand drive parts in the Terrano. We always tell you that when it comes out, but there are no Pathfinder like liveries. So if somebody wanted to, you know, draw up some real quick decals and turn a quick buck, right now with these two kits being reissued and fresh out on the market, somebody should do some Pathfinder and some Toyota SR5 decals, because all the parts are there to make those kits. They just don't have the decals to do the U.S. naming and graphics. Then in the tuned model car line of things, they're going to reissue their Nissan R32 GTR and its Veilside Combat version, so it's a bunch of aero parts and wheels and stuff like that. In the More Grand Champion series, you're getting a reissue of the Nissan Ken and Mary GTR and the Nissan C130 Generation Laurel. And then last but not least, I don't necessarily know there's any new parts in this kit, but the modified reissue Liberty Walk, Liberty Work, Nissan R35 GTR version 1.5. For the people not following along at home, yes, this is the 5th version of the R35 GTR that the Liberty Walk thing has been done with. This is the one that's going to have the Advan livery tossed into it. So I don't think there's necessarily any new parts per se, but it has the Advan graphics in it. So, I ordered one, but still, ooh. And then the rest of the stuff will just be straight reissues. These are just restocks from Aoshima. The Copen Ultimate Edition, the 2010 WRX STI, the 77 Toyota Celica 2000 GT, the 79 Skyline 2000 GT ES, the 1983 Y30 generation Nissan Cedric, Nissan Gloria Brougham Hardtop, the 1/20th scale Honda Life Step Van, the 1996 Honda Accord Wagon, the 1989 Nissan President Infiniti Q45. Remember, that's one that comes from 2 different bodies because the bodies are so different. You build everything else off the interior and the chassis. It's only one model when you're done with it, but you do get a spare body in that. The 1994 Nissan Skyline R33 GTS 25T Type M. That is the 4-door version of the, excuse me, the 2-door version of their R33. There is going to be a 4-door version of R33. Sorry, I got my mind confused there. Speaking of USCP, they're going to have a resin conversion for the, I believe it's a Tamiya-based R33 to turn that into a 4-door. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye on their Facebook page, Ukrainian Scale Car Productions. You know, that may be a very interesting kit, with the R32 being a kit that Aoshima did as a 4-door, and here just recently Aoshima did the R34 4-door. This may be a chance, if you really wanted to build the Morador Skyline collection, you could get the R33. Don't have a price on that yet, but based on what their kits usually are, it's probably going to be in the $70 to maybe $80, $90 range. You do get a body and the interior and stuff like that, so I mean, it's a fairly complete conversion. Only thing it doesn't really come with is wheels. They sort of based theirs on the Autech version, so in order to get an Autech set of wheels, you would have to buy a Fujimi kit. They're the only ones I believe that have done Autech tuner versions. I don't think there's been any Autechs that have been really released recently. I think the Silvia, the S15 Silvia reissue, might have gotten the Autech version in there with just the regular Silvia. That might be your best bet. But then again, you know, just look around. Maybe somebody sells wheels for that. I'm not sure. At any rate, that's sort of getting off on a tangent, unrelated to actual plastic kits there. Wheel sets here, you're going to get the 18-inch sets for the Workmeister S1, the Work Emotion KRs, the Graham Light 57 Extremes, and the Volk TE 37 RTs. Also being reissued are the Aventador LP 704, which is just the regular Lamborghini Aventador, with its photo etch set, and the Liberty Walk Liberty Works R35 GTR version 2, which would be the powder blue car that was done about, what, a year ago now. So that, guys, will be that. That's just February expenditures. Right now, as it stands, I have the Advan. Actually, no. What am I saying? I'm trying to think here. I thought that Advan was coming out. Yeah, the Advan's coming out next month. I'm sorry. Wow, I just said version 1.5. That's just a reissue then. Huh. Well, I'm sorry, folks. We're going to have to correct ourselves there. I don't feel like refilming this whole thing. The version that has the Advan livery will come out next month. The version 1.5 is the one that was done just most recently. It's the one that has the conversion to the 2017 specs, so it's the one that's only about 4 months old. It's getting a rerun. I'm sorry, I completely misread my notes. So that is what is coming out this month. Next month is going to be the Advan, because in my back of my mind, I went, wait a minute, that Advan's on a March pre-order, isn't it? Yeah, so the only kits I actually have for pre-order this month is one copy of the BMW M6 in its Fudwatch, because I want the Team Italia livery. I obviously already have the SK decals. So, all right, now we're done. Now that we've caught ourselves, we don't have to like put fancy words on the screen and crap like that, and I don't have to go back and record this whole video all over again. That, guys, is going to be it for this video. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys on the other side.